What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be discussing how you can become profitable in 2026. A lot of you guys at the start of 2025 probably made all these promises to yourself. You were going to be disciplined, you were going to follow rules, you weren't going to tilt, revenge trade, over leverage, etc., etc. And now you're looking back on the year saying, I broke all these rules, I broke all these promises. And trust me, I know it is not a good feeling to feel like you're spending so much time at the charts, so much time taking these trades, studying, journaling, etc. All the time we put in to trading with no results to show for it. Today I'm going to be discussing how you can solve all of these issues so you can go into 2026 with momentum and ultimately lead to your profitability. My name is Tim, and if you're new here, welcome. I am a full-time trader for 6 years now, which is crazy to say. And in today's video, this is the exact type of teaching that honestly, I wish I had early on. It would have saved me so much time, so many headaches, so many emotional tilting days that really frustrate the hell out of us as traders and add to that self-doubt of if we're really gonna make it, if we're really cut out to be a good trader, is trading a scam or is it legit, etc., etc. Now, most traders are looking for some holy grail, some magical fair value gap, some magical order block, the shiny new object, whatever is popular at the moment on social media, they're going to and from system. This is the exact mistake that most traders make. The reality is that any of these systems can be profitable and can become your system. You just have to have a clear set of criteria for you to enter a position. When do you engage? When do you not engage? So today, we're gonna be breaking down the exact types of trades that I want you guys to take and take those only. And trust me, if you start to apply what we talk about in today's video, your trading in 2026 is going to be substantially better than this past year. So without further ado, let's get into it. Okay, so there are 3 main ways that we're going to categorize our trades. Number 1 is a system win. Number 2 is a system loss. And number 3 is a tilt loss. A system win is perfectly fine and the most ideal outcome. And on the other hand, so is a system loss. And this is where most traders go wrong and get tricked in their own brain that a losing trade is detrimental and that it means you're a bad trader. When in reality, if you're following your system, it's perfectly acceptable. Number 3, a tilt loss is unacceptable. This is the type of loss that we want to avoid and that we want to filter out of our system. So let's look into this a bit further. What is a system win? A system win is a specific set of technical rules that clearly define when you enter a trade. And I can't emphasize enough that one word, clearly. Okay, you need specific, clear, simple rules that tell you when to engage with a trade. And if those things don't happen, you don't take the trade. And this set of rules leads to a favorable outcome, or in other words, a winning trade. So this is the most ideal scenario. You're following your rules and it leads to a win. On the other hand, what is a system loss? Well, it's the same thing, a specific set of technical rules that have the same clearly defined rules when you enter a trade. The only difference is that this set of rules leads to an unfavorable outcome or a losing trade, which of course is not comfortable, but is inevitable. So we have to get used to taking losses well and being a good loser. Okay, so to reiterate, a system win and a system loss are both acceptable, and we can deem this as good performance. So if we look back on a trading day, we don't want to obsess over P&L. We don't want to obsess over, did we have a green day? Did we have a red day? We need to obsess over the fact, did we perform well? Did we follow our rules? Did we execute on our system when it was present and telling us to take that trade? Was it a win? Or did we do the same thing, follow that same system? It just happened to be a loss. We can control our process, but we cannot control the outcome. Okay, so both a system loss and a system win are both perfectly acceptable outcomes, and that is good performance. Okay, now I want to break down my specific set of entry criteria just so you guys have an example of what this looks like. Okay, so first and foremost, I need a clear draw on liquidity. If I don't have that clear draw on liquidity, there is no trade. If I have a clear draw, I'm looking for manipulation during a macro, so it's also time-based, which is essential. And also as well, my final entry is an inversion entry. So I have the target, my bias. I have what's required prior to my entry, the manipulation, and I have my PD array that I'm using specifically only that for an entry. And point 2 and 3 need to occur during a macro, okay? And this is what I have coined macro power of 3. Again, if you're new here, check out the endless videos on my channel where I'm talking about endless examples of macro power of 3 if you want a deeper dive into that, okay? But that is my model. Now, on the other side of it, what is a tilt loss? A tilt loss is an executed trade that's based purely off of emotions and no specific entry criteria, or in other words, as you probably have heard of, tilting, okay? Tilt trades are detrimental to your long-term trading success, and it's going to continue to be detrimental to your success in 2026 if you allow it to. Now, that can either scare you or inspire you, right? All these tilting trades, all these tilt losses are totally up to you. It doesn't mean it's easy. It doesn't mean you're not going to feel the urge to rush into a trade, to FOMO, to over leverage, to get right back in and revenge trade. It doesn't mean you don't feel those things, but it means you don't act on them because you understand it's detrimental to your long-term trading success. Okay, so what does that look like on the other hand? You have no clear draw on liquidity or clear bias. There's no manipulation. And by extension, you just end up taking random entries. You take a 1 minute fair value gap, then you switch to a 5 minute inversion, then you're taking 15-second volume imbalances and suspension blocks because that's the new thing on social media. You're bouncing around instead of having a set specific system that you rely on day in and day out. Okay, so this is emotional trading at its core. Now, I want to transition into some visuals that will really put things into perspective to emphasize how important what we've discussed so far truly is. So if we look at a set of 10 trades, okay, and what we see here, these are either system wins or system losses. So this set of 10 trades, hypothetically, is assuming a 70% win rate. Now, these are scattered with a random variation of when these losses and wins occur. So you see here 2 wins in a row, a loss, a win, a loss, 2 wins again, a loss, 2 wins. But the point is that the only losing trades in this sample set are system losses where you're still following your rules. You just did not get that favorable outcome for whatever reason on that day. The market did not want to give that to you, okay, which is perfectly fine. Now, let's continue forward. Let's look on the other side of this. When you add in those tilting days, okay, you have system wins and system losses, but you also start to sprinkle in those tilt losses, right? Where in reality, majority of the time, tilt losses should really just be no trades. That's another conversation for a different video. But every time you're trading emotionally and outside the criteria of your system, you're taking away from your sample set of these 10 trades. And we're going to stack these up even more than 10 trades to see how much damage it actually does. But you need to filter these out of your trading, right, for 2026. So every time you feel that urge to revenge trade, to over leverage, understand, excuse me, I'll keep that in there because I'm a real one. Understand that you're more likely than not going to add this tilt loss, which is completely unnecessary, to your trading sample set. And you want to filter these out. Now, let's add on here a specific and common, we'll say, classification of a tilting losing trade, which is over leveraging, oversizing. So before, in the previous 2 examples, we looked at 10 trades. But on those trades, if you add in the element of risk and size that you're trading per trade, typically when you're tilting, when you're trading emotionally, you're revenge trading and trying to increase that leverage to get back your losses quick, because you can't sit with the fact that you're in the red, you're having a losing day, or your losing streak is continuing, whatever the case may be, right? So when you also add on risk and over leveraging, this is really adding like a double or triple, depending on how bad you're over leveraged, a double or triple losing trade streak into your sample set. Where in reality, if you were calm, there could have been a great trade that you would have clearly saw later in that session if you didn't tilt, blow your account, and then rage quit and walk away from the charts. So if you can filter these out of your system, you're going to be in a very good position. Okay, so see again, if you replace some of those winning trades or your reaction after a system loss with a tilt loss and then a tilt loss that's over leveraged, it's really, really difficult for you to succeed and see that growth in your trading that you've been seeking, right? And this is the cycle that traders get stuck within. And not only is it detrimental to your win rate, your monetary return in your trading, right? Your return on investment, but most importantly, your mental, right? Your confidence as a trader, where it slowly dwindles on your confidence more and more. Okay, so let's put these side by side and we'll talk about, I'll say trader A and trader B, but really it's the version of you that exists, that's disciplined, follows rules, follows your system. And then it's also the version of you that does damage to your trading, that doesn't follow rules, doesn't follow your system, gets emotional when they take a loss or whenever they're on the charts in general. Okay, so this is that 70% win rate versus a 40% win rate. Okay, but now again, let's add in also those tilt losses when we're over leveraged and we're oversized. And side by side, we can see how detrimental and how much of a difference this makes. So again, a system loss is completely normal for both traders, but the reaction to this version of you that's disciplined, that follows rules, is the correct reaction. They're just waiting for the next system to execute on their trade, and they're sitting on their hands if that system is not presented. This version of you takes that system loss, which is normal, but then you can't sit with it and you try to get it back right away. Then you take another normal loss and you're saying, three trade losing streak, let's over leverage to get it all back. And then you're digging yourself into a deeper and deeper hole that's virtually impossible to get out of until you blow that funded account, you blow that eval, whatever, you hit your max daily drawdown, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, so it becomes really difficult for you when you sprinkle in these tilting trades. Okay, so let's add in a larger sample set. So each one of these is 20 trades. So one column, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is a total of 100 trades, a larger sample set. And again, it's just depicting more of what we talked about. You're going to have trades where you're getting emotional and you're tripling your leverage to get back. You're doubling, you're rushing in right after to try to fix it right away, trying to call a bottom or a top with no logic. All the things that we do when we're trading emotionally. All these trades need to get filtered out of your system. And look what happens. You have a much cleaner, healthier sample set that is your trading. And let's go back for a second. If this is how your trading looked in 2025, this is how you want it to look in 2026. There's no holy grail. There's no magic system, magic fair value gap. Of course, your system is personal to you. My macro power of 3 has helped me, and it's what I use day in and day out, find success in trading. And it's what has helped so many traders as well find the same success. But also, there's some people that come to my channel that watch my videos and learn from my lessons on liquidity or whatever concept it is, dealing ranges, and then they just add that one piece to their personalized model that makes sense to them. So don't feel like you have to use one specific model. It's whichever one makes the most sense to you. Stick with it and just refine and master. Refine and master, refine and master. That is your goal. That's how you become a better trader. It's not from system hopping, okay? And when you refine that system, you're going to have a healthier sample set like we do here once you also master your emotions. Okay, so again, the point isn't to not feel the urges of revenge trading, of being happy after a loss. A loss isn't good. I don't like taking a loss, but I don't act on it anymore. The old me would act on it, right? And once you get over that hump, that hurdle, and you reach that next level in your trading, your success is truly limited. Okay, so let's continue forward. The theme is what? Less is more. This is the depiction of that. So you're going to take less trades, you're going to have more clarity, and you're going to be able to see and put all your focus on a high quality trade within your system. Okay, so again, you see that here as well. Just spread it out. But this is what you want to look at, guys. This is how I want you guys to go into 2026. I don't want you guys to continue to obsess over P&L. Stop obsessing over the need to have a green day. If you didn't take some trade, then you go on social media, you go on Instagram or Twitter after the trading day, and you're seeing everyone claim to take the trade. Whether they did or didn't, it should be irrelevant to you, because all your focus needs to be on is performing well on a day-to-day basis. The scoreboard resets every single day. If on Monday you had a great performance and it happened to be a winning day, it doesn't mean you get greedy and overconfident on Tuesday. The scoreboard resets and you just have to focus on the day and the trade and the candle even at hand. Make your decisions in line with your system. Only take trades in line with your system. And as long as you're doing that, you have to trust that. I guarantee you will see growth in your trading. But think about this graphic, today's video, and these visuals of the tilt losses and how much damage they do to your trading. When you feel that urge to trade emotionally and do dumb things essentially that are detrimental to your trading and just gamble, think about this graphic and say, okay, this is my opportunity to remove one of those tilt losses out of my sample set for 2026. So as always, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please leave a like. If you're new here, subscribe. Plenty of videos to come. I'm very excited for 2026 on the channel. And in the comments, let me know if you guys enjoyed or any other questions or things that help you with your trading psychology and performance. So hope you guys enjoyed, and talk with you guys soon.